Hello, welcome to Market Avenue. My name is Edward Nyakon. Today, we're going to look at the Christmas that is on our way, how we're going to get access to poultry products. Remember, about a couple of months ago, Ghana was hit with bird flu. So we're going to talk to Dr. Anthony Nzo, who's of FAO, to find out more from him. What are the plans that have been put in place to make sure that the spread of this kind of disease does not happen again? There's a master plan that has been developed to be followed through to ensure that they prevent this kind of disease from spreading through the country, so that the poultry products that you are looking forward to, especially during Christmas or festivity period, we don't lose out on that. So we're going to talk about that, but before we continue, let's take the basic language for today. Hello, welcome back. We're going to the Ghana Stock Exchange to find out more from Esther Edu as to what is happening on the Accra Bourse. Esther, you're welcome.
Thank you, Edward. Well, today too we had the composite index going up just like yesterday, and this time it was around 11.75 points. The financial stocks is zero, which means no equity from the financial sector registered a price change for today, even though they were traded in. And the year-to-date change is 52.92. We are almost getting to 52.53%, and 53% will be good because from sometime last week we've been around 51, then went to 52, we came to 51, and I think going to 53 will be very good for an investor, which means that if you invested on the stock market from the beginning of the year till now, you are having a return of 52.92%, and if that is in the financial stocks, is 16.31%. For trading today, in terms of value and volume, we had, that's the highest we've had for this week. It was 2.6 million, and they were valued at 2.7 million, also the highest for this week. The market capitalization too is the highest for this week, as we've been going up, and the 65.3 billion cedis. And as I said, for trading today, the equity that registered a price change was MTN Ghana, which gained a peswa, and that is what has also driven the composite index up, and the year-to-date change also up. So that's about it for today.
Thank you very much, Esther Edu, for that update from the Ghana Stock Exchange. Now, the VRA at a meeting with SIGA, that is the State Integrity, had a conference today, and they were looking at SIGA was looking at how the performance of these state enterprises were, and it came out that some state enterprises were doing very well. So we're going to pick a soundbite from there, and then we look at the Keta port, because for the first time stakeholder engagement had been done to find out more how feasible and how viable that project is going to be like. So let's pick the soundbite from the VRE that the SIGA DG, that Mr. Samuel Bajin, talk about today.
Even VRA is now posting profit this year. Bosch is now, well, we have to do one or two things for Bosch. They have a hanging debt, so I need to work out with Minister of Finance a debt equity swap. If we do that, and because it's a state business, the state can take it as, look, it's a debt, we take it on our books. So you go and have a clean balance sheet and begin to move from there, which is something we do. If we do that, Boss is clean again. Ghana Gas is even better. They used to have a Chinese expertise, they were paying 3 million a month. They've now trained Ghanaians, and that money has remained in Ghana, and the Chinese are back in their country. And the local Ghanaians on the fields in Atuabo working. And this is the improvement we've seen in public service. And then I think the image of bad governance, corruption is gone.
Good morning.
It's a good morning, and we serve you breakfast.
Not just any breakfast.
Sizzling helping.
And there's much more on offer on GTV Breakfast.
So what's your pleasure than Votras here at that time of the morning?
You want it served buffet style, complimentary breakfast?
On-site restaurant.
Or room service?
We've got you covered.
From Monday to Friday at 6 a.m.
With a trusted team.
So never skip breakfast.
On GTV Breakfast.
It is a nightmare dealing with the filth in Accra. The gutters are choked with garbage. The streets are a jumble of filth. The beauty of the serene beaches is marred with human feces and plastics as many defecate in the open. Residents are up in arms when the situation gets out of hand.
Because of this, you can't even stand there for even a minute. As we speak here, even mosquitoes even refuse to bleed on it.
Partners in sanitation suggest alternative policy interventions.
Landfilling is not the way forward. We are recommending treatment facilities.
In all of this, have we made gains in the sector?
How can you have a people who have a lot of dignity and still practicing identification?
The task facing Ghana to achieve SDG Goal 6 on clean water and sanitation for all is Herculean and riddled with equally complicated hurdles. Join us every Thursday on Wash Hour from 4:05 p.m.
Welcome back to Market Avenue. Like I said, the good news is that Catapult will be developed because the consultant says that that project is feasible and is viable. So today there was a stakeholder engagement in Accra to find out more, and it's going to cost about $600 million for that project to be undertaken. Let's take a soundbite from that meeting.
Our vision as a country is to create an optimistic, self-confident and prosperous nation through creative exploration of human and natural resources and operating within a democratic, open and fair society in which mutual trust and economic opportunities exist. This vision is informed by the need for a strong economy that expands opportunities and inspires people to start businesses, stimulates expansion of existing businesses, and ultimately leads to the creation of jobs, increased economic growth, and aggregate incomes. It is in the light of this that I am very glad to meet potential investors and stakeholders to announce a major infrastructure project of government, and that is the Catapult project. I am informed that some companies have already expressed some interest in participating in the port development. I therefore look forward to the other private sector investors or interests in this project.
If we all go back into the history of many ports, starting with our own country, Ghana, we'll notice that none of the ports were built on the basis of immediate first and second year high profitability. It's a very, 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 very progressive journey towards building the port. Indeed, that port will require the economic zone that is going to be created there. What even makes the third commercial port even more necessary is because we are now fortunate to have the African Free Continental Free Trade Area agreement signed, and we are hosting the Secretariat.
Hello, welcome back. So we're going to talk to Dr. Anthony Nkunzile of FAO to find out more from him as to what is being done to ensure that the bird flu that we witness in the country might not happen. It will happen once again at a minimal level. So I go to Dr. Nkunzile on Zoom. Doc, you are welcome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Great to have you, sir.
This evening.
Good evening. Doc, when we talk of biosecurity, what exactly do we mean by biosecurity?
Well, biosecurity are just the measures put in place to stop microorganisms or pathogens entering a facility where animals are kept. It is a way of management, top-level management of the farmer to ensure that the farm is free from external agents that can cause disease on the farm. There are management methods, management actions that are to be taken by the farmer to stop the entry and hence the spread of the disease on the farm. In this case, poultry farm.
Okay. In this case, poultry farm. We've recorded some bird flu in the country, and it affected us. Do we have knowledge as to how many birds so far have succumbed to this challenge?
Yes. As at in November, 140 farms have been affected by this disease. A total of 6,012 of those farms, their birds died naturally from the disease. That means the disease killed those birds. Then 393,429 were depopulated by the veterinary services. Depopulated by the veterinary service means that the veterinary service have to do that in order to stop the spread of the disease from those particular farms to other farms. And that is what we call it stamping out. And the method of one of the methods of controlling this disease is to really depopulate a farm that is affected so that the affected birds are not sold out or given out to any other farm. Even feed, eggs that are on that farm are also destroyed. And then after that, there's what we call cleaning and disinfection with appropriate disinfectant. So this is the total, or this is the status of the bird flu as at November 2021.
So do we have knowledge of how much it has cost us? Have we done the cost analysis, cost-benefit analysis of these particular depopulation and the natural death of these birds?
As of now, that has not been done, but you and me can simply make a calculation that if a total of 65,012 birds have died, and a bird will cost, let's say, 40 cities, multiply that one by 40, and another 393,420 birds also were depopulated, then you can also multiply by the same cost, and you can arrive at the total cost or the benefit, the total loss in monetary terms that this country has lost or the farmers have lost due to the outbreak of this bird flu.
So what is being done to ensure that these farmers that have lost these amount of money are cushioned to a large extent so that the shock is mitigated?
Well, the government of Ghana has put in place a compensation package that farmers that have lost their birds will be compensated, and the plans will be rolled out by the veterinary services.
All right. Now, Doc, let's look at the master plan. What is that master plan is all about in terms of biosecurity?
The master plan is all about how holistically we can improve the poultry industry in the country with all the actors in the poultry value chain. So the master plan looks at a holistic approach, the whole setup involving all the actors in the poultry value chain. That will be the feed millers, the hatchery operators, the egg sellers, those who import DO checks, the drug importers or the drug sellers, the veterinaries, what we call the service providers, and the regulatory people. All these will be involved, and that is why we call it the master plan. It involves all stakeholders, both service providers, producers, and regulators in the poultry value chain to ensure that each plays the appropriate role that we can improve the poultry industry in the country.
All right. Let me pick one of the actors, which for me is crucial, the farmer. Now, if I'm a poultry farmer within this master plan frame, what is expected of me?
Well, what is expected of you is to produce. And to produce, you need inputs from the other actors. And then producing involves a lot of, inputs. You cannot produce without inputs from those selling the drugs, from those selling the oil checks, from those selling the feed, and even labor. Labor is also part of it. You need labor to produce.
So if as a farmer, I need all these players within the value chain, what do I do to ensure that we minimize the spread of, maybe not, we are not wishing for that, but if there's going to be any outbreak of bird flu, what should be my role as a farmer to make sure that we don't lose so much as we have lost this year?
Okay. One of the surest way is to practice what we call biosecurity. And biosecurity, bio means life, and then security means protection. So it means that provide protection to your birds. Bio, the life of your birds, and even including yourself, the farmer. So biosecurity means protecting the life of your birds on your farm, including you yourself. And we have what we call bio-exclusion and bio-containment. That means bio-exclusion, it means exclude all microorganisms that will come to your farm. And bio-containment is when there's a disease, you have to contain it so that it doesn't move from its source to other farms. And that's why we do what we call the depopulation on a farm when there's an outbreak. So biosecurity is the key to disease control, especially on a poultry farm.
So, as a farmer, let's look at the biosecurity aspect. If I've gone for a day-old chick, about, let's say, 1,000 or 2,000, and I'm bringing it to the farm, within the biosecurity framework, the master plan, what should I do to ensure that maybe I don't expose my birds, or those who are within the containment already, I don't expose them? If there's something wrong with the one I'm bringing in, what do I do to prevent the spread of any disease?
Well, if you have to bring in the old chicks to your farm, then first of all, you have to clean, disinfect your farm very well before you bring in those newly birds onto the farm. And if you have any other birds on the farm, you have to what? Remove them. We have what we call all in, all out. It means that whatever birds that you had, you have to sell them all out so that your farm is empty. Then you clean carefully all cobwebs, the floor, with a kind of sprayer that can spray. But before you do that, you have to remove all the dirt, all the manure, all the debris on the floor and this thing, so that you can properly disinfect, or you clean and disinfect with the appropriate disinfectants. That is the first thing you do before you bring in your birds.
All right. Finally, Doc, how long is this plan going to be rolled out? Briefly, the time frame.
The time frame, we're hoping that it can be rolled out from between now 10 to 15 years.
Okay. And what are likely impacts that we expect in terms of production?
The likely impact that we are expecting from this master plan is a stable, competitive, and profit-making poultry industry in the country, where we have to be able to compete with the imports of poultry meat into the country. That is the aim of the master plan, to be able to compete favorably with imports of poultry products into this country. Our farmers should be able to compete favorably with a competitive pricing, and so that we don't depend totally on imports.
Thank you very much, Dr. Anthony Zor, for your time of FAO. We'll come back later on. Thank you very much. So we've been talking to Dr. Anthony Zor of FAO about the National Biosecurity and the Master Plan. My name is Edward Nyako. God willing, we'll come your way tomorrow. Shalom.